Good morning everybody. It's a lovely Sunday morning. We had all those real strong winds last night, so I've noticed here in this bit of, well, large area of beech wood that there's a few fallen bits of tree. I don't know if they look fresh, they might have been last night, but it's another new area for me. So I'm using this time of year, which is really quite slow. It's the start of the end of mushroom season. You don't find so many bits and pieces as what we did, like say 4 or 5 weeks ago, but I'm using this time to explore some of these new areas, and then I can note them down in my notebook and put their position down where they are, and we can have a look next year in the autumn to see what comes up. If it looks like a real nice area that might be good in the autumn, that's what I'm going to do, note them down. So hopefully you'll all enjoy it. If you do, please feel free to like and subscribe and share to your friends or anybody else you know that's interested in fungi and edible mushrooms or anything like that. Let's see if we can keep building the channel, and hopefully we'll get it up there, and we'll get a lot more next year. I mean, it's going to be a slow time of the year now coming up, so we don't expect to get too many new subscribers, but surprisingly we have been in the last month. So let's keep it up, people. Let's all learn together, and I'm going to go and see what I can find in this lovely fresh morning dew that's hanging around in these beech trees. Well, it looks like we've got a few wood bluets. Yep. We got a few wood bluets, but they're old, as you can see. They're really past their best. That one's all right. That one's not too bad. This younger one, it's not that great, so I think I'll leave them. We might find some younger ones about, but I'll have a look around. If there's some here, then there's probably more around, so we'll see if we can pick up anything a bit better. So let's carry on. Although we're still in, we're well into December, there's still a few nice amethyst deceivers about, as you can see there. Hopefully it'll, there we go. Some lovely amethyst deceivers, so they're going to go into the bag, into the basket. And when we find them, there's usually quite a few around in that area, but there's only a couple here, so it is the end of the season for them. But a nice little find, always a nice little mushroom to add to a mixed mushroom meal. So we'll carry on and see if we can find some more bits and pieces. Here we've got a lovely puffball. Let's see if he's got anything left. Yep. There we go, little puffs of his spores coming up like little puffs of smoke. Amazing, isn't it, what they go through? These little fellas go through being frozen, solid, wet, full of water, and they've still got nice dry spores inside there that they can puff out when they get any leaf litter or branches hit them or rain drops hit them. There you go, still puffing out litter, spores. Right, so let's go carry on and see what else we can find. Here we got some lovely Sunday morning yellow staghorns. There we go, a nice little group again in this moss, growing on broken branches and fallen trees as normal. So that's where you find them, guys. Just have a little look around the mossy areas. and I'm sure you'll spot them. They're not hard to spot, are they, at that colour? So let's move on. Now this is a little mushroom that I'm seeing everywhere really. A lot of them about, and they are called the wood woollyfoot. The reason they're called the wood woollyfoot is pretty obvious. So here we've got one that I picked, and you will see on the stem it's smooth at the top and then it's woolly at the bottom, hence the name the wood woollyfoot. There you go. Now I read that these are an edible mushroom. They won't do any damage to you, but they are so bitter. They're really outstandingly bitter, so nobody ever eats them because that's just so bitter. But that's a new one for us this morning, or a new one for you. I've seen quite a few of them about and never really stopped and checked what they are, but there you go, the wood woollyfoot, because of that lovely bottom half of the stem that's lovely and woolly. There you go, those lovely little hairs growing. So you'll see there's quite a few about wood woollyfoot, and we will move on to see what else we can find. And here we've got buttercup. You're going to see these everywhere you go this time of year. Buttercup mushrooms. They got that little umbo in the middle, that little nipple look, and then that dark cap with a light outer ring. Some people eat them. I don't think. I think you'd have to collect quite a few to eat them. I wouldn't want to eat them anyway, so I don't think I'd want to try them. But there you go, buttercup. Lots and lots around everywhere you go at the moment. Most woods will have these in. So let's move on and see what else we got. Now on this twig you see these little white look a bit like I'd say tiny little oyster mushrooms. But if we pick it up and we turn it over, and I'll try and hold it still, there we go, you will see that these are little oysterlings. There you go. Once you turn it over and you see those lovely little gills underneath, they are little oysterlings. I'm not sure whether oysterlings are edible or not. That one's quite big for an oysterling. But if I was going to try one, I would look in every book I've got, look online, search for them and make sure first. But most oyster mushrooms are quite nice and edible, but I'm not sure about oysterlings. But there you go. So oysterlings, in other words, like really tiny little oyster mushrooms. Aren't they lovely? So we'll turn that back over and we'll lay it back in that moss. There we go. And they're back to normal, face down. So that will do us, I think. So we'll move on and we're going to head back towards the car now. So we're right in the thick of it here, as you can see. So let's see what else we find. Well, everywhere we're going, as you know, we're finding the cloudy agaric, or cloudy funnel, as you want to call it. So another big circle. See this one? It goes all the way round the back of them trees. You can see them up on that log there, look, making their way all the way back round, as you can see, back round to here. One huge, great big circle. So anybody who eats them, who's lucky enough for them not to play them up, come and get them. Everywhere you go, there will be literally hundreds of them. So let's just move on, heading back towards the car, and we'll see if there's anything that we can find on the way. Well, we've got 3 lovely little puffballs here, as you can see. I'm not sure if they've got anything left in them. Yep, yes, all 3 still got spores in them. Them little puffs of brown spores coming out like little puffs of smoke. So 3 lovely little puffballs that are still trying to spread their spores about. And it's amazing after all the ice and frozen mornings we had. Right, let's carry on. Well, that's it for this morning. It's been a nice little walk round, somewhere different, finding the same sort of things, but then these are all areas that have got lots of beech trees in, so I'm quite expecting that. A lot of the things that we were finding under the beech trees, it's now getting too late for. Things like the saddles, there's not as many amethyst deceivers about. They seem to be, the ones we do find have lost all their colour and they're old. The weather's got to them. But then there's other bits and pieces coming up. There's the odd bluets coming up in the woods, but most of the places I find bluets are grassland areas, especially field bluets, orchards, places like that, recreation grounds. But all in all, it's been a nice morning. Now I've got to get back to work. I've got a few beads to make. I've got beads to clean and to photograph to list in my Etsy shop. If anybody's interested, I'll see if I can work out how to put a link in the description. I'm not very computer literate, I suppose. So if anyone goes onto Etsy and just searches for the shop, which is called Pebble Dreams, all one word, Pebble Dreams, then they'll be able to see the sort of beads that I make and sell. Lampwork beads. I might even do a couple of little short videos to show you what I do for a living. Might make a change, although I'm pretty sure not many of you would be interested, but it might make a change, be something different to put on, especially this time of year when there's not going to be much about in the winter time. It could just be a matter of going for good walks and having a look round and just enjoying the winter forest really, and woods. I was going to a different little woodland near me this morning, but when I got there they was having all the bicycle races through the woods and stuff, so it was chock-a-block, and I thought I'll come a bit further instead. So back to work I go. Thank you everybody for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Let's get them subscriptions up. I think it tells me half of the people that watch are subscribed, so there's about 50% that aren't. So if any of you are watching and you're not subscribed, just click the button. It doesn't cost you anything and it'll help the channel. So everybody try and get out today. It's Sunday morning. Maybe you can get out this afternoon or sometime this week and have a good walk round and start learning about that wonderful magical kingdom of the fungi. So have a good day everybody, and don't forget, keep your eyes open.